Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Helen Liao. Thank you for joining us. Coming up in the show today, Philippines Tzu Chi volunteers are carrying out a disaster assessment and free clinic to provide immediate assistance to Typhoon Bopha victims. Today, we start a new series of feature reports on internet addiction and see how the internet is changing our lives. And in our regular look on Taiwan's sunset trades, we meet Lin Xueqing, who is still making peanut candy the traditional way. In early December, Typhoon Bopha struck the Philippines, with the island of Mindanao being the worst hit. Upon arriving at the disaster site, Tzu Chi volunteers saw the devastation caused by the storm. Although the United Nations has provided rights to the survivors, tents and medicine are still urgently needed. As Tzu Chi volunteers carry out their disaster survey, they also held a free clinic, hoping to provide immediate assistance to the survivors.
Witnessing the devastation caused by Typhoon Bopha in southern Philippines, Tzu Chi volunteers are shocked. It is hard to imagine that what was once a village is now completely buried underground.
There was a shelter where 1,000 people stayed. It was also buried by the mudslide. This place changed a lot. There was a road with houses on both sides. These stones are not supposed to be here. There is supposed to be a street in this direction.
Tzu Chi volunteers in Manila went to Compostela Valley province to conduct a disaster survey where 50,000 houses were damaged. 10,000 hectares of banana farms were all damaged, and the shelters for the survivors were also ruined. Inside the town, the survivors live against the broken walls, with tents covering as their only roof.
I can only rely on the relief items because I have lost my job.
During the storm, we ran out of the house because we were afraid that trees might fall on the house.
The head of the town said they need food, tents and medicine. The United Nations has promised to provide rice to the residents for 6 months. However, it will require at least a year to rebuild their homes. Davao Oriental Province was another hard-hit province in which Tzu Chi volunteers from Zamboanga conducted a disaster survey. The medical personnel with the volunteers held a free clinic in the local church. Most of the patients they saw had infected wounds, and several infants were running a fever. The volunteers were busy at the free clinic from morning to midnight and saw a total of 1,000 people. Following the disaster survey, the Tzu Chi chapter in the Philippines plans to carry out an aid distribution soon. Local Taiwanese businessmen also promised to help the survivors get through these difficult times.
In Canada, as the temperature continues to drop, Tzu Chi volunteers carry out 2 winter aid distributions for the homeless people. In Toronto on December 13th, Tzu Chi volunteers prepare hot meals, sleeping bags, gloves, and other supplies to 250 people. Meanwhile, their counterparts in Vancouver distributed 180 packs of relief supplies to the homeless.
Such joyous singing traveled through 4 of the Salvation Army's overnight shelters here in Vancouver. Upon arrival, 31 Tzu Chi volunteers carry out their duties with efficiency, so the homeless people are not kept waiting and there is no delay in the distribution. As each homeless person is trying on winter jackets, with the volunteers' thoughtful assistance, they feel respected.
There's no one in the world that I don't trust.
Taking part in his 4th year of Tzu Chi distributions is Kevin Hawken, the manager of the overnight shelter.
The first year I remember there wasn't as many people singing, and each year it seems like there's more people singing and more people signing, and the amount of people participating is growing every year. And I'm learning how to sign better, so I'm really enjoying that.
Tzu Chi volunteers not only care for the health of the homeless, but also warm their hearts with words of encouragement.
Even though we're here late at night, everyone feels that they are replenished when Tzu Chi is here, that they're happier after they're here. If you look around at any staff or anyone in the room, they're just kind of glowing a little bit, and they're always a lot happier. They have more compassion in their hearts and a bit more hope when they leave at the end of the day.
Meanwhile, here on the East Coast, Toronto Tzu Chi volunteers are busy packing winter relief items because no matter how cold the winter may be, Tzu Chi volunteers always keep their promise to the homeless people. Upon receiving the relief supplies, the homeless people respond to the same love and respect displayed by the volunteers.
People feel anxious because their money is being cut off. They're being cut off from the government. They're not getting the same sort of supports that they used to have. So that's why the Tzu Chi Foundation is so amazing, to come in and provide this kind of care and service for people who so desperately need it, especially during the holidays. It's a difficult time for everyone, and providing that little bit of comfort is so important.
As the festive season is approaching, Tzu Chi volunteers bring warmth and love to the homeless people, hoping they may have a happy holiday this year.
Moving to China, during the winter aid distribution in Zhejiang province, Tzu Chi volunteers arrived at the home of Grandpa Xu Genqing, who lives with his wife, daughter-in-law, and granddaughter in Lanxi City. This family is not well off, and his granddaughter has to rely on Tzu Chi scholarships to go to school. On December 16, the volunteers not only brought relief items, but also helped clean up their living environment.
这个是送给你的衣服。那个米哪一个？哦，还有这个来大米来，你拿过去。哎，谢谢各位，希望你过一个温暖的冬天，好不好？
Seeing the volunteers handing out aid supplies, 81-year-old Grandpa Xu is all smiles. Normally at home alone, he is surprised to have the volunteers here. The volunteers also kindly clean up his house. Carefully clean up every corner in Grandpa Xu's house.
Seeing what Tzu Chi has done today, I've known this organization well, and I'm very happy to volunteer.
My family is not well off either, but seeing Grandpa Xu's situation, I feel blessed to have a family like that.
After the cleaning up, Grandpa Xu is all smiles and sits on the bed with a new mattress.
喜欢不喜欢？
买了国庆饭。
国庆。
哦，国庆。他们都是台湾来的。
对的。
台湾那个师兄啊，都是自己的哎。
我想今天。
The house cleaning activity allows more volunteers to experience the happiness that comes from helping out.
Putting on Tzu Chi's cotton jacket, Grandpa Xu feels warm both in his body and heart.
祝福你了哦。好，长寿，身体好点。
In recent years, internet addiction is on the rise. It is the result of many never being too far away from a computer with a smartphone. Today, we start a new series on internet addiction and take a look at how the internet is changing lives for better and for worse.
This is Taiwan's second annual school-wide gaming competition, attracting students from 25 different universities. When asked for an interview, the contestants declined to give one, as most feel they are often confused with those who are addicted to the internet. The World Psychiatric's Guide to Mental Disorders, known as DMS, is still unsure about listing internet addiction in its publications.
In DSM-5, which will be published in 2013, the American Psychiatric Association is still debating on whether to list internet addiction as a mental disorder.
There is a group of people who can't control themselves when it comes to using the internet. Data from Taiwan's Internet Addiction Net shows that university students have the highest percentage of internet addiction.
University students are prone to be immersed in the internet. Which grade is most likely to be addicted? The fourth year, because in your last year of school there's less homework pressure and the students are facing an uncertain future.
Actually, anything that can cause a person to be happy is prone to become an addiction. Over time, the action changes the way the brain perceives it, and once the action no longer satisfies, the person will be uneasy and unhappy.
When an addict sees the internet, they will not be able to control themselves, even if they have important things to do. Their first choice will be to use the internet. This is compulsive behavior. The second type of behavior is needing prolonged time spent on the internet. If it's playing games, then the game needs to increase in excitement to satisfy the same need. If suddenly an addict goes without it, then they are likely prone to bouts of anger and unease.
What is the draw of living inside the cyber world? In order to find the answer, National Jiao Tong University's Department of Communication and Technology is doing research in the area.
I will observe as well as question the gamers to see how they are playing the game and gather data that way. In this controlled area, we have a subject here, but behind her is an observation mirror. At times, I will observe her from behind the mirror.
The research team finds that in today's online gaming, teams are required to finish tasks. Gamers find happiness in the nature of these teamwork games.
These types of games will affect the students, giving them the feeling that they are an irreplaceable part of the team. If they fail, then the whole team fails. So they need constant practice, and through prolonged time together, they form friendships.
Inside these games are also constant leveling up, giving players clear goals to achieve. In defeating enemies in the games, the coins received are also a draw. Every part of the experience is calculated by the makers of these games to hook those playing. Whether gaming is as addictive as drugs or alcohol is still to be determined, but as the number of people addicted to the internet rises, it is something we should carefully monitor.
After Typhoon Marcotte hit the community of Jingzai in Pingtung County 3 years ago, residents made through the difficult time and were able to rebuild their homes thanks to the love poured in from surrounding communities. Now residents there are paying the love forward by building a love kitchen to provide hot lunch for seniors living nearby.
This is the Love Kitchen located in Pingtung County's Wandan Township. Every day at 8 in the morning, volunteers show up to help prepare lunch.
Many charity groups, including Tzu Ji, send their love to us to help our community rebuild.
The love travels across 3 townships in Pingtung as volunteers personally deliver hot meals into the hands of each senior resident.
This is the first stop this small. It's hard, but seeing how happy they are receiving their meals, I'm happy too.
The Love Kitchen consists of 37 volunteers that daily show their love and care to 80 seniors in the surrounding community.
Here in Taiwan, Tzu Ji Honor Board member Xie Wang Jingluan, who is also the mother of Jingsi Abou Master De Gen and De Guo, passed away on the evening on December 16th. Tzu Ji volunteers and family members held a memorial service on the morning on December 17th in her honor.
Kneeling and bowing to their mother in prayer are Jingsi Abou Dharma Masters De Gen and De Guo. Their mother passed away on the evening of December 16th. And in line with her wishes, the family is donating her body to medical science. From Jingsi Abou Dharma Masters to Tzu Ji volunteers, everyone is here to pay their tribute and blessings to 87-year-old Xie Wang Jingluan, who despite being illiterate, was able to raise a family by herself. Xie Wang Jinluan's great love and compassion and her footprints of love can be seen in all of Tzu Ji's 4 missions. Before she suffered from a stroke, she also dedicated herself to recycling work.
You have devoted yourself wholeheartedly in Tzu Ji, and with my sincerest blessings and gratitude, I thank you. Your generosity has been immense.
Not only did Xie Wang Jinluan accomplish her lifetime goal of raising her children to be upright and moral, she also donated her body to medical science so that the power of love may continue on.
In our feature reports on Taiwan Sensei Industries, we take a look at the owner of one shop in Penghu that makes peanut candy entirely by hand and without any harmful chemical additives or preservatives. Let's take a look.
Customers haggle over pieces of this hard-to-get treat.
People your age don't usually like to eat this kind of candy, but if we give them a bit to try, they always say how good it tastes.
Lin Xueqing, who runs the shop with her husband, has won over a many picky eater with her handmade treats.
You knead it until it is firm and the outside is shiny. You just stop when it feels right. You have to use a lot of arm strength. After doing it for so many years, I can no longer raise my arms above my head.
Glutinous rice flour, flour, and sweet potatoes are kneaded into balls of dough in a process that relies on experience and feeling as opposed to a set formula. As for the filling, it is the same, all handmade.
I grind up the peanut powder with a pestle and mortar. Most peanut powder you find is too fine. Mine is more granulated, which gives it more texture as well as fragrance. Since when grinding the peanuts, the oil inside will be released. Sometimes customers will pre-order a large quantity, like tour groups. It is hard to estimate. So, for example, this morning I already made 2 baskets full. This is an old-time recipe handed down, but adjustments have been made here and there. Similar recipes are out there, but we differ in ingredients used.
Without any preservatives at room temperature, the peanut delicacy will only keep for 2 days. Lin's husband brings out a just-finished tray of the sweets and is met by a crowd of eager customers.
We make them until the day we are unable to. If others want to learn how to make these, we will teach them.
Willing to share with all at the front of their shop, the Lin family has hung a signboard that proclaims their philosophy of making good-to-eat treats. And it is the spirit that keeps customers coming back for more.
Recently, Tzu Ji volunteers around Taiwan are holding year-end blessing ceremonies. On December 16th, a year-end blessing ceremony at the Banqiao Jingsi Hall was attended by Yang Yizhen and his sick mother. Meanwhile, at the Tzu Ji Guandu ground, Tzu Ji volunteers put on a short skit to bring to life the story of media volunteer Zhang Yichuan, who has vowed to spread the master's wisdom far and wide. On this bright sunny day, local residents are here to take part in Tzu Ji's year-end blessing ceremony held at the Tzu Ji Guandu ground. Some participants adopt bamboo coin banks as they hope to save money for those in need. On stage, volunteers put on a stage play based on the story of Tzu Ji volunteer Zhang Yichuan. Zhang Zhang's mother was killed in a car accident, but her family decided to forgive the guilty driver. Seeing how the mainstream media overplayed the accident, Zhang realized that it was his duty to report the truth.
The unfortunate thing happened and the media over-exaggerated the incident. Back then, I was a media volunteer and I felt that it was my responsibility to work even harder to spread the words of the master to even more people.
Receiving their blessing and wisdom red envelopes from the Jingsi above masters, everyone hopes to cultivate wisdom and blessings in the years to come. Moving to the Banqiao Jingsi Hall, the Tzu Chi year-end blessing ceremony there was joined by more than 3,000 people. Among them was young Yi Zheng, who attends the event yearly with his mother, who suffers from spinocerebellar ataxia.
Are you happy? If you are happy, can you nod your head? Yes, she said yes.
Also attending the ceremony was Liu Yijun, who is a wheelchair user. She says she's happy to have the opportunity to bring her friends to the event.
I am grateful for everything and I hope I can do better in the future. I hope one day I can do something to support Tzu Chi.
After attending the event, I realized that everyone here has a giving heart. I hope for world peace.
Holding the prayer slides in their hands, everyone prays for a world without disaster. In our next report, we traveled to Taichung, Taiwan, to visit a green community located around the Dadu Mountain. To make their community more eco-friendly, residents of the Lichuan community made a windmill out of recycled materials, collect rainwater to irrigate their organic farms, and even decorated the community with recycled items. The faster a person rides on the bike, the brighter the light bulb on the roof shines. It is an eco-friendly way to produce energy.
From March to September, we don't have much wind. We generate electricity by riding the bicycle and storing the power for later.
With recycled parts from electrical fans and motors, the residents built a windmill. The strong wind off the Dadu Plateau has also been turned into a free energy source for the residents.
The rainwater will go in here, and when we need to use it, we have water.
Here in the community of Lichuan, outside of every household is a bucket that collects rainwater. The rainwater not only is used to wash cars, but also irrigate the nearby organic farm. Residents say they have access to free organic vegetables all the time.
We need to come here every day to get rid of the bugs and help each other out.
Around the corner are potted plants that have found a home inside recycled safety helmets, while the community's fans are decorated with unused ceramic tiles. By combining creativity with eco-friendly concepts, residents here have created a truly unique community. Moving back to China at the end of the show, on December 15, Shanghai Tzu Chi volunteers held a dinner gathering for their care recipients. The event was joined by 2 children who suffer from burn injuries. Thanks to the love and care from the volunteers, the children learned to help those in greater need by donating money to the bamboo coin banks. We'll leave you with these images. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.